Hey, hi girl, what's up? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Margaret Angel. I am so happy to have you here. It would be awesome if you subscribed. I post anti-MLM, humorous, beauty, whatever's on my mind. So it will be awesome if you subscribed if you were new. Now girl, last week we met Karen, okay? What? Get the f out of here! I'm still recovering from that. And since Karen was horrifying, I thought we could continue the horror and go into some really disgusting stories. If that sounds like something that interests you and you want to get to the real tea, keep on watching. So a lot of you may know BeautyCounter and Sephora have this limited deal partnership going on. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I do know that BeautyCounter and Sephora have collaborated. Now BeautyCounter does have an alleged history of employees saying that and derogatory things have occurred at the corporate office, and also with like consultants. I've heard stories of black consultants being treated differently than non-black consultants. And when this whole thing erupted, I got a message from someone that actually worked with the corporate office with BeautyCounter, and what he told me I have to share. So let's get started. The subject line reads as, "My traumatic BeautyCounter experience. I wish I didn't have to write this. I wish my experience at BeautyCounter wasn't as traumatizing as it was. I wish I could simply call it inevitable growing pains at the inception of a new company. But unfortunately, what I experienced in the corporate offices of BeautyCounter was concerted, organized racism under the leadership of I can remember the day I walked out of those offices in tears, knowing I could never return. I felt small, I felt devalued, and professionally drained. My heart still hurts when I think about the fried chicken and watermelon that was served to staff following a string of complaints about overt racism. The silly smirk on face when I brought it to her attention by letting her know it was offensive. I still cringe when an intoxicated bragged at a holiday party that she had to remind her white friends that all black people don't look alike. The shock on my face was identical to going off with these names, as we both seemed to not be able to believe our ears. I am still traumatized by the concerted witch hunt carried by. I am even more disturbed when I think about how used her crony lawyers to intimidate low-level staffers into implicating high-level executives she didn't like or wanted to get rid of. It angers me when I think of the overworked customer service staff, majority of whom were black and Hispanic, being forced into overtime and 6-day work weeks because of incompetence on the executive level. I had never experienced overt racism the way I did at BeautyCounter. So much so that upon me leaving, I went into a deep depression that thankfully a great deal of therapy has helped me to get over. So when I received the email from BeautyCounter proclaiming that Black Lives Matter, all of these feelings came rushing back. The disrespect, the tokenism, the dismissiveness of black voices like myself. I do not know personally. From what I can tell, she's an outstanding mother who loves her children and would do anything for her family. However, I do know her professionally very well. I've worked with her personally. I've traveled with her team, and I can tell you that she is a bully. She traffics in intimidation. She uses her position to swat down people and opinions she doesn't agree with. Professionally, she is a definition of the kinds of oppression that this country so desperately needs to get rid of. I can only hope that she's changed. I can only hope that what is happening in the world has affected her in the same way that it has affected other non-blacks and non-people of color. I pray that she will do her job as a leader and as a woman to meet this moment, to self-reflect and to think about all the people that her action have affected. And I pray that the people surrounding her, including the consultants in this thread, continue to hold her and the company at large accountable for the way that they treat and represent men and women of color. Sounds like a great place to work, huh? Okay. I need to just back this up for a minute. I don't think people understand two things. One, microaggressive behavior. which I have experienced on this channel, and I want to make very clear that I'm not cool with it. I don't think anybody would be cool with that if they were in my shoes. Microaggressiveness is basically when you are shocked that a black person is acting non-stereotypical. So for me, I am someone that is educated. I speak very well. I have no problem saying that. And I have to always orchestrate that because this world thinks that I'm just ebonics left and right. And that's not the case. Microaggression is a term used for brief and commonplace daily behavioral, verbal, or environmental indignities, whether intentional or unintentional, that communicate hostile, derogatory, and negative prejudicial sights and insults towards any group. When you look at me and you say, Margaret, oh my God, I'm so shocked, you're so well spoken. Why are you shocked? You shouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if you speak well. Hold me to the same standard. Hold black people that are in corporate positions to the same standard. You can't be sitting around making jokes and all that kind of stuff and then talking about watermelon and chicken. That's a stereotype, okay? Personally, I'm really with watermelon. Every now and again, I might dabble in a little chicken. I don't know many people that don't like fried chicken. Right? So for a corporate office, after being told, hey, you're being racist, we don't appreciate the way that you're treating a lot of your staff, you make a chicken and watermelon party? BeautyCounter, what the f? What the f is wrong with you guys? Who orchestrated that? Was it the CEO? Because you don't sound like a really good person. If this happened in your office, you got some explaining to do. People have come out of the woodwork saying that this company is racist. And listening to a story like this with names dropped like that, and then the follow-up message being like, I'm so grateful that you're telling my story. If you're tired of hearing about me and other black people talk about racism, then do your part as an ally to help us fix the problem. This is beyond MLM. This is bullshit. You do not treat people that are working for you like pawns, like they don't matter, like their stereotypes highlight who they are. People have the right to act however they see fit. He said they would use lawyers to intimidate low-level staffers into implicating high-level executives that they didn't want or wanted to get rid of. Like, what is this? You use lawyers to intimidate people of color that were working for you just because they were speaking out on issues that they were having at your office? So you do that to silence them, so they don't say anything. What is wrong with black voices in corporate positions being treated like equals? I don't understand that. See, this is why you have like Pull Up for Change, where it's like, hey, I want all these makeup companies disclose how many people of color and black people you have at your corporate level, in your executive offices. We know we're in the warehouses, girl. We know we're consultants, but we're damn near not good enough to be in those white people positions, and that's sad. And that is really terrifying, because we matter too. We have poise, we have diction, we can orchestrate ourselves. Stop giving into these stereotypes that don't even fit the whole genre. It's stupid. And anyone has the right to act however they want. So if somebody likes chicken and watermelon, I'm not gonna judge homegirl. She likes chicken and watermelon. It's not the genre. I'm not gonna judge a whole group of people based on one person's actions. I think we all need to take a lesson in that. And what this young man experienced, BeautyCounter, I'm looking directly at you. You f***ed up. You f***ed up, and you need to take accountability for the countless allegations against your company about racism. I dare you, talk about chicken and watermelon to me. Girlfriend, I have a field date with you. And if you guys want to do an interview with me on this channel or live, hit me up. Because what I've heard about your company is deplorable and disgusting, and it needs to change. So here's my Instagram. Hit me up. The next one is about Amway. So I was in Amway for 8 months last year. I was an exotic dancer, and this guy was off to the side looking grumpy. I approached him and he asked me what I was doing there. It wasn't the exact wording, but I felt like I had to prove myself. I told him I was trying to start a business because my degree wasn't really working out for me because I got fired. He got excited and told me about the business owners he knows and how they retired really young and were helping people build their own businesses. I got excited. He said maybe he can introduce them to me, so we exchanged numbers. This is where I was taken through what they call the process. and they give me various books to read while also inviting me to their local events where they talk about the business. I was finally roped in December of 2018 with the idea that these business owners were going to help me be successful in this. I had been hooking up with a guy for a while, and we finally started talking again and started dating in March. Slowly, I introduced him to the business too, but he ended up not liking how much time in your day you have to dedicate to build it and dropped out. I was devastated. I was deep in the Kool-Aid at the time, so it felt like he didn't want to mentally grow as partners, and I tied the business to doing that. I told the guy who recruited me, and he said, "So did you guys break up?" I said no. He asked, so he wanted to get married? And I told him, I mean, that's the plan, right? The longer you're dating. He then went on this rant about how marriage is and how if your values aren't aligned, then the marriage won't work. I got really mad because Amway is always saying that you shouldn't take advice from someone who isn't living the life you want. And he wasn't. He was a single guy. Why was he giving marriage advice? But I ignored it, trying not to be negative. The way he spoke to me that day really bothered me, and from then on I found it hard to work with him. Not only that, but the vitamins they have were making me sick. In order to keep my personal volume high, I was taking so many of them every day, it was no wonder I was getting sick. All of that combined made me decide to break, and I told all of my upline. He reached out to me and gaslighted me, saying that I spoke bad about my friendship that day my boyfriend quit. So he chose to speak about it that way too, and that he was allowed to give me marriage advice because so many married couples were speaking wisdom onto him, so he knew what marriage meant. That's not how that works. I told him I never asked for any kind of advice, and I know married couples too, and don't go around preaching their lifestyle. After some back and forth, he finally said if I want to keep my business asset to go through our upline, but he was blocking me, and he did. I'm disappointed it took me that long to finally defend my now husband, and I'm glad the way he talked didn't convince me to leave him. We are now expecting our first child, and I couldn't be more happy with my life. Thank you for talking about the horrors of MLMs. There are so many victims that end up breaking up over them because they were deep in the Kool-Aid and listened to people like him talk them out of a relationship. Amway is truly a cult, and the fact that their mentors tried to make it okay to talk to the downline like that further proves that. Hot girl, I am so proud that you are now married and you guys are expecting. I think that is wonderful. Blessings to you both. I have heard so much. People want me to do a video on Amway so bad, and that's one MLM, to be honest, I didn't know much about. If you guys want that video, let me know down below. What? Think about this. This is a perfect example of preying on the vulnerable. So she said she was an exotic dancer because her degree program wasn't really working out for her. For me, look, I'm pro any kind of work, anything, girl, get your coin, okay? So she's doing her thing, and then he's looking a little sad on the side, right? Because he wants somebody to come up to him and ask him, well, oh, baby, what's wrong, right? Girl, that's little syndrome. Now, he's sitting there looking sad. She goes up to him, she's like, oh, what's wrong? How can I help you? And he's, you know, looking grumpy, blah, 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 blah. They start talking about business and how he's saying that people with his company have really been elevated and they're retiring young and all that kind of stuff. Like I said before, any young person, I don't think any of us want to be like 70 years old and still working. I don't see that. And if you do, that's your prerogative. I understand that. But majority of us, I don't think we want to be that elderly still working. So when you hear, oh, you can retire young, a lot of people are going to jump on that bandwagon. So what did she do? So she got involved with the company. The person that she was dating got involved with it. He got out of it, and they were getting fights over it. And then the guy that had enlisted her and all this was telling her basically, hey, if he doesn't agree with you, you need to leave him. A non-committed person is telling you to leave who you're committed to because of your MLM, because they disagree with the business practices. No, homeboy just saw it early that this was a mess and he didn't want to be a part of it. This is why I say, especially in my life coaching, I always tell my clients, listen to the constructive criticism from your loving spouse. I think that is vital and that's very important. This is cult-like mentality. When someone tells you if someone doesn't align with what you believe in, kick them to the curb. That is not how any relationship works. Anyone that loves you is going to hold you accountable and say, hey, hot girl, hey, hot wife, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't agree with this. I have a husband, okay? And guess what? If I do some floozy shit, he's gonna call me out on it. He's be like, Margaret, I don't agree with that. You need to change this up. I don't like what you're doing here. This is detrimental to us. This is detrimental to you. Anyone that loves you is gonna say that. So for this person that's not married, not involved in your relationship at all, with somebody that was just sitting literally on the sidelines looking grumpy while you're dancing, this dude is somebody you need to listen to. I'm happy she called him on it, and look, as far as I'm concerned, him blocking her, he did her a favor. Okay, now she's on the bigger and better things with her man. They're both out of that company. Kudos to y'all. Like, I get you guys are invasive, but there is a boundary line. I mean, come on. You really want to sit there and give someone marriage advice because you know people that are married? We all know people that are married, but that does not give us all the right to speak on other people's relationships. And the only reason you spoke on it was just because you wanted to keep your coin rolling. These people get more and more f***ed up every week, I swear to God. Next one. Beautiful hot girl, DM me on Instagram. Thank you so much. I just found your anti-MLM channel and you're doing great work. I'm glad that people are starting to speak out against MLM companies. As for my own MLM story, I had just moved to a brand new city with 4 little kids and a husband and was looking for friends. There was a group of super stylish, fun women at my kids' school that tried to befriend. I was so excited to see a Facebook DM from one of them a few months into the school year. It read something like, I'm so glad you moved to the area. You seem like a great girl. We should totally hang out sometime. And then the pitch. I've seen you at the gym and I know you love to take care of your body, so I thought these products would be the perfect fit for you. It was Plexus. I told her that I was a cancer survivor and had to be very careful about the things I put in my body, sort of trying to let her down easy, but she kept coming. Leave people with illnesses alone. Cancer. A cancer survivor. What? Alright. But she kept coming. So my no had to become a little bit more assertive for her to leave it alone. And since my no, we rarely talk. Apparently she didn't want to hang out after all. Interesting. That came a time when I was lonely and vulnerable, the perfect person to pitch an MLM to. I was also feeling very left out of all this girl boss vibes that were going all through the social media back then. I have a master's degree and a teaching credential. I teach for a university and an online high school, all from while raising my kids. And that didn't feel Instagram worthy. It wasn't flashy enough. No one posts #bless about their legit jobs that pay bills. My completely legitimate job that gave me a paycheck, health benefits, and retirement didn't feel good enough compared to what the other girl bosses were posting. Then I finally realized I'm not wrong, they're wrong. That's when I woke up and went all anti-MLM. I remember a LuLaRoe consultant told me that I'd be stupid not to get involved in the business. For a while I believed her and almost signed up. Close call. What I do isn't flashy, but these days I'm okay with it. Keep at it, girl. You deserve all the praise in the world. First of all, cancer survivor, hot girl, okay? Flashy. That's flashy to me. That's what I want to see on the gram. That's what I want to see posted up. I'm a cancer survivor. I got 4 kids and I'm doing the damn thing. That's what I want to see. This witch, girl, I'm trying to stay ad friendly. This witch that hit you up when you were so vulnerable and you told her you were a cancer survivor, and then she still persists with you and then gets angry with you that you don't want to try the product. Monster. Monstrous, disgusting behavior. Pseudoscience is a prominent course that is evidently not spoken about enough with MLMs. If you are not an oncologist, shut the up. If you are not someone that has to deal with cancer patients on the regular, understanding how chemo works, how things shut down in the body, radiation, if you don't know anything about that, you have no right to give any advice to a cancer patient or a cancer survivor, period. What the hell is wrong with these people? I will never understand. I will always be anti-MLM for this exact reason. These people are deplorable, they're sick, they're monstrous, okay? I sound radical because damn it, a little bit of radical just jumped out of me. Girlfriend, I'm sorry. I have a really hard time with people that marginalize on really sick people. My mother was a really sick person. I could not imagine somebody, and my mother was on social media. She knew how all this stuff worked. I could not imagine somebody talking to my mom who was already really, really sick and being like, oh, well, this will help you with this will help you with that. And let's say my mother would have tried that and then died earlier or gotten even more sick at the time. I have to put myself in the shoes of the person that's being afflicted. That way I best understand to whatever ability I can understand. I am so proud that you did not give in to this BS. You came out stronger, and I send you all the health and the blessings in the world. These Huns are disgusting. I will say it till I have no breath in my body. Leave MLMs alone. These people that are involved with these companies, majority of them don't give a fuck about you. They care about the coin, and that is what's detrimental. That is what's sad. They will put your health at risk so they gain 5% commission. And that's coming from a former Hun, someone that was taught to do that. You got me fucked up. I will continue to speak on these matters, and I will continue to say that this behavior needs to stop. And I don't care how long I gotta make these videos until it gets through one Hun's head that you are a part of a serious problem and it needs to cease. Enough with the BS, girl. We've had enough. Keep your shakes to yourself. I don't want your little hair detox shampoo that's gonna give me scabs. I don't want your stuff that you claim is gonna be helping with my ailments. I don't want none of it. I want my medical advice that I've been given. I want the diet that I know I need to be following. And I want the supplements that I can go buy at GNC and know I can return them if I don't like them. I don't have to be locked into a clause with loyalty. I don't need your bull. All right? So next time an MLM person hits you up, take a screenshot of this. I don't need your bullshit. Keep your shakes, keep your vitamins, keep your hair detox crap, keep it all. Girlfriend, I'm good. I'm great, hot girl. That's what you tell them. I'm great, hot girl. And if they're like, why do you keep calling me hot girl? Send them this channel. Woo! Girl, that's gonna do it for me today, girlfriend. My blood is up here. I am boiling, I am hot, and I gotta go to the post office. No, for real though, I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for making me a part of your day. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. It's just so cool to watch this channel grow, and I'm so elated and grateful to have you here. So thank you so much for tuning in. My podcast is now streaming on all platforms and is now free. I want everyone to get into this podcast, girl. I'm just talking, all right? I'm talking about real life, what really matters, things that I've gone through. You want some real talk, you want a motivation to get through your day, hit that link down below to that podcast, girl. Download it. It's on Spotify, now we're on Apple Podcasts. I'm so elated. I'm so grateful. I love you guys so much. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at XO. BeautyCounter, hit me up. I'm not playing. I want to talk to you. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next video. Stay hot. Peace.